All right, all right. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in, man. We got a special guest, man. Come on in, let's talk about it. Warren Childs, what's up, my man? You said fight on, David. What's up, my man? What's going on? DT818. Hello, USCJ and Children family. Looking forward. Absolutely. Brian, what's up? Look, man, we got a special guest. We got Jamil Muhammad, USC linebacker, man. You guys already know I've done a couple of videos on him, man, and just showed you who he is and what he can do, man. Jamil, what's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Man, I'm doing good, man. We appreciate you tapping in with us, man. But we want to talk about you, man. What has your experience been, man? You coming from the South, man, and one of the things that really caught my eye was that it was USC really wasn't on the radar for you. And I think I heard you talk about praying and making a decision to come out here, man. Talk about how that was, man, for you.
Yeah, it was odd for me. Me and my family being in that position. Being blessed enough to be able to be in the transfer portal and have success, and have countless prestigious universities come after me, great coaches. But with USC, it was different because even before they offered me, like I understood the impact, just like a lot of people understand the impact and the history and the tradition that USC has held. Not just on college football, but college sports in general. So, I was very excited when I first got that offer. And to be quite honest, when they offered me, without even obviously talking to Coach Grinch and Mr. Dave Emmerich and any other people I talked to, Coach Manning, obviously Coach Riley. After talking to them, and obviously getting the offer, it was like my number one school. All the other ones was basically just it was almost like playing, catch up or playing the match game. So, just having that experience was different, and I'm grateful for it. It definitely was because coming out of high school, I didn't have any big recruitment because of my injury heading into my senior year, my junior year. So that's why it was a little bit more appreciative for me.
Man, we'll talk about that coming out of high school, man, because I think this is what make you who you are, being a versatile player, man. You play quarterback, right?
Yes, sir. I played quarterback from the age of 5 and 6, all the way up to really about 2 years ago. Really, that's the only thing I played. I mean, if you count, playing the defensive side ball in Little League, that was really it. But as far as grade school and in college, never once did I play anything on the other side of the ball or any other position. So that was definitely a testament to how I was raised and how, like my mental fortitude and just being able to adjust on the fly and being able to adapt and basically just become a new me on the field, and just dominating that area. And a lot of my I guess you could say change came from my injury heading into my junior year because that wiped all my recruitment out. I was heavily recruited on both sides of the ball, but both of them were Power 5 offers or Power 5 level offers. That injury changed the dynamic of things because I had to go camp and do all this extra stuff and then end up getting Vandy, which at the time felt like the perfect opportunity. But God showed me as the road went on that wasn't the perfect opportunity, but he was going to lead me to what seems like another perfect opportunity in Georgia State also, but USC too. So I'm grateful.
Yeah. Man, you had, like you said, as you alluded to, you had some schools looking at you, man, when you hit that portal. If I'm not mistaken, Tennessee was one of them, though, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tennessee actually came after I committed to USC.
Yeah. And so, man, I mean, what was it? How did you transition into that position? Though you played quarterback, and you it was at Vanderbilt, right? Did you go to Vanderbilt first? I was kind of unclear about that. Did you go there first and then transfer, or
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, like I said, I had got injured before my junior year. I'm just giving you a little history behind why I went to Vanderbilt.
Oh yeah.
Because after my 10th grade year, I ended up snagging a starting spot from a senior, probably like the third or fourth game of my sophomore year, and then killed it that whole year. It was a little raw, so I had college coaches, wanting to recruit me at DB, like safety. Georgia was one of those, quarterback, and then there was also those options of, you can come try a quarterback, but if it doesn't succeed, you can change, kind of how I did at Georgia State. So, that happened, and then I end up, getting all my offers wiped away after I got injured. Which at the which at the time I was, on the verge of committing to Mississippi State and Dan Mullen and his staff at quarterback. So I got hurt, got all my offers basically wiped away, came back at the end of junior season, did a lot of camping, went to a lot of mega camps, satellite camps, where all the coaches are there. Vanderbilt liked me. I thought an hour and a half away from home, SEC, perfect opportunity. Our early enrollee there, so I do go there first. I have a fantastic spring inside the classroom and outside the classroom. I ended up finishing with like 3 touchdowns in the spring game. And then, certain things took place to where we realized that, that we had to basically get out to I guess salvage the love of the game or the love that I have for the game. So that took place. Me and my parents, we prayed about that. And, we went to Georgia State, dominated inside the classroom, outside the classroom, on the field. It didn't quite work out for me at quarterback again. So we had a mutual decision. And at that point, it was just, what's best for me and my family. And, me moving to defense was what's best. So I moved to inside backer at first.
Yeah.
And I just didn't really, vibe with it as much. But then coach put me at outside linebacker, and it was just like something clicked. And he had me. I remember I was on a scout team. Who was going against the starting O-line, and it was just like I was knocking them off one by one. And the guy Georgia State had at the time was like awesome. He's still there, Travis Glover. And when they seen that, they felt exactly what I felt, and they knew, okay, this is where this is his home. And the rest is history. So.
Yeah, man, that's incredible, man. And I actually watched some of the clips, man. I watched you against South Carolina, man. And man, you look like you was all over the field, man. It just seemed you appeared to be like a natural playing that position. You playing that now, and I can imagine that's what the coach is seeing. Coach Newell, all the different coaches, man. You look like you fluid with it, man, with your movement. And so how did that work out as far as like where was your weight at? Where when you were playing quarterback, did you continue to gain weight when you were in college, or how did that work out, or were you already big?
I was already naturally bigger. Just from genetics. My dad is huge. I got, all my brothers are huge except for maybe one. But at quarterback, that's kind of what was pushing them to want to move me anyways. There was a lot of reasons that they, wanted, they found to want to move me. I was just athletic. I mean, I can't blame the coaches for thinking that way. And that's something that they told me, after that first game of me not playing. They were just like, look, man, we can't have you on the sideline. You're too athletic. But to answer your question, I think, my weight was up there. I probably was I think the heaviest I got at Georgia State was like 221. I ended up dropping all the way back down to like 212. Right when I got back down to 212 is when I ended up moving. So I had to go from like 212. So the whole time I'm adjusting my mentality from offense to defense, I'm having to adjust my body also. So it was really, taxing on me, but pressure can, do one or two things. It can bust pipes or it can make diamonds. And I feel like
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And I feel like, it's still cultivating the diamond within me and my family. So, yeah, I ended up going from like 212 to maybe 225, I believe. And then these past like year or so, I just been learning how to really like tap into my body. Like right now I'm 245.
Wow.
And I feel that look very lean, in my opinion, which I still got.
Man, you hold your weight extremely well, man. I mean, some people can hold it and look that way, but you don't look that way, man. And you look like you still fluid and move pretty quick with that weight on you. Does it feel different for you?
It feels different as far as like, being able to destruct blocks and stuff like that. But as far as slowing me down, no, not at all.
Yeah. That's what I meant. So now you're at USC and you come to USC, man. And talk about the very first practice, man. What was your thought process? Take us into that, like your very first practice, like all the athletes that are around. What was it, more than what you expected? Did it exceed expectations? What were your thoughts?
Well, it's funny because I'm a really highly competitive. Me and my dad got this thing where we don't like to use the word competitive. We like to use the word create. But I wanted to throw that out there because first practice, I was excited to be out there. It's probably going to be my last spring period ever. So I was excited to be out there. I was, my mindset was stacking days on top of days, and they take production, every day. They tally sacks, not necessarily tackles, but TFLs, PBUs, interceptions. You know all the big production numbers that will show up on a stat sheet other than tackles, since we weren't live a lot. So that first day, I was just so excited. I was just so worried about, I'm gonna take things slow the first day. So we get in after the first day, and they showed the sack chart and this and that. And I'm a guy, I like to be on everything. And I think I had maybe a TFL or something or two, but I didn't have any sacks. So our Coach Manning was just like, you know what, it's ridiculous, man. None of us were on the sack chart. So I took that personal. So from the first day all the way until yesterday, I mean, I've been rolling. Like, my teammates had a great spring, no doubt. But I had to walk away with the lead in sacks. I had to.
Hey, I like that. That's real talk right there, man. That's right. So you were the lead in sacks. Not only that, I seen Coach Benny Wiley. He was putting up some stuff, man. I seen you grind it. I think I might have put one of them things on my Instagram. I post all kind of players on my Instagram, but man, you was lifting that weight, man. I mean, you between you, Taggart Curtis, and I'm trying to remember who else.
Mason Cobb.
Mason Cobb, y'all getting it in, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you put that work in. So yesterday, man, it was lights, camera, action yesterday, man. It was all the way go time, man. And man, you had a nice little strip. It looked like you stripped the guy, poked your hand in there, got a fumble. You look very active early on, man, and you can kind of see it. It jumped out at me, and several different guys jumped out at me, man. So what was that experience last night playing in the yesterday evening, rather, playing in the Coliseum?
Man, it was awesome. I mean, we went in there for my first time because I wasn't able to go in on my visit because it was a concert. We couldn't get in for some reason. But last week we did a scrimmage, kind of the same type of thing, just without fans and supporters being there and the cameras. But yesterday it was just, it was great because it gave me a sense of not that I've arrived, but it gave me a sense of, okay, I'm starting to get exactly what me and my family prayed for, and that's an opportunity to be coached by the best and to go against the best. And I feel like you do that every day. I mean, the games are just what comes with it.
Right.
For me in my process, being able to be coached by Coach Riley and Coach Grant and Coach Manning and Coach Newell and all the other wonderful coaches we have on staff. And just being able to be myself, it just allows me to feel good about this process, and also seeing my family in the stands too. So
absolutely. How'd your family, man? How did they take it all in yesterday, man? When they were out there, out here, in California, man. What was their thought process, man?
Oh, they loved it, man. My dad, obviously, he gets his thoughts and he tells me certain stuff, just on the fly. Same with my mom. Obviously, she after the game, she was coaching me up on stuff. She likes to be my biggest. Some people say hater, but she likes to be my biggest critic. It really depends on the day of the week, though, because they both like tag team on me. But I love that. I love seeing them there because at the end of the day, they were happy. They were happy to see that I'm healthy. I didn't miss any days this spring, which is great to be able to be in my latter part of my college career and not be able to miss any practices. And just seeing them happy and just seeing them see the development in me. Because obviously we played like 30 minutes of ball yesterday. Obviously it was limited reps because everybody, plays. But they seen and they feel exactly what I have seen and exactly what I have felt. And also the coaches as well.
Absolutely. I'm going to get to some of these questions as they come in because there'll be so many.
Yeah.
Touchdown USC says, Jamil, does your experience as a QB, we talked about that briefly, but you could help you anticipate plays on defense?
Yes, absolutely. But it's also like a twofold to it. You don't want to think. So I have a tendency to think too much sometimes because I'm thinking for other people as far as the formation and as far as what I see based off of. Sometimes I think of, okay, if I'm quarterback and I got this on my offensive line, or I got this in the backfield, or I got this 3-by-1 look, what would I be running? So sometimes I tend to think too much, and it doesn't hurt me, but it could slow me down by half a second, or it could have me looking at too much when only I got to look at just a little bit. So but I think the positive definitely outweighs the negative part about it, because like you said, I mean, quarterback, I anticipate a lot coming as far as formations and as far as if I got the back to me to my side, but the tight ends away. And before the snap, if he peeks, that means he's coming back. So I had a play like that yesterday where I was able to just, okay, I seen that. I don't even have to worry about what's going on. I know exactly what play is coming. So that does help.
Absolutely, man. Let me read. So Darnell says, excited to see Muhammad play this year. Let be skilled. Let's get it. Jamil Muhammad, glad to have you, brother. A lot of people love you, man. Like I say, I've put out a couple videos on you, man. And look, everybody sees your ability, man. You got the ability, man. And we really, really appreciate you coming in with being with the Trojan family, man. Brendan says, welcome, homie. Bart, he says, Chris, I don't know. USC priority, best offense USC.
I peeped that comment. I peeped that comment about him saying about Chris Arledge. Hey, trust me. I hear we hear it all, and I love that. I love that.
Hey, let me tell you something though. He's lost in the sauce. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
It's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good. I seen comments where it was talking about how I had one sack, and if he's able to listen to this, I want him and whoever else to know that me and my family, we hear things like that, but at the end of the day, that doesn't do anything but drive me. And if I had to ask him anything, I would just I would just ask him to, can he please just ask the coaches how many I had during spring? That's not being, arrogant in any way, but that's just real talk. That's just letting anybody know.
Let them know what it is, man. Let them know exactly what it is.
Yeah, me and my team has been grinding. Like it's not about me. We all been grinding and just pressing against those guys like Jonah and Mason Murphy and Michael Tarquin, the new transfer, and all them tackles, man. It's done nothing but push me and allow me to be better. So, they can talk about the one sack, which is also false, by the way. But
yeah, let's talk about what you just said about Michael Turquin and Mason Murphy. The likelihood of this being one of the best offenses that you guys are gonna face. I mean, iron sharpens iron, man.
Absolutely.
What is it like going up against? First of all, what is it like going up against the Heisman Trophy winner? Then what is it like against going up like you? Because those guys that came from Florida, well, Ethan White hadn't came yet, but those Michael Turquin, Washington State, Kingston, all these guys, man, they were some big time guys. Kingston could have went to Ohio State. They wanted them. Michael Turquin could have went somewhere else. What is it like going up against these big guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Speaking of Kingston, he's the strongest O-lineman I've ever went against. Like he plays guard, but
yeah,
man. That guy right there is as strong as an ox. But
he's a beast.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, all of those newcomers and all the guys that are here. Like I think Coach Riley made a comment in his press conference. The newcomers, he gives us a lot of credit, but it's the guys that have been here, that are developing and that are playing at a level that they never played. And obviously I wasn't with these guys last year, but they definitely played at high levels throughout spring. And it's crazy you said that that comment of iron sharpens iron, because I literally tell Mike that every day. Like me and him will tell each other like how we got each other on a certain play, and we'll just always look, man, we got to keep making each other better. And I literally just talked to Mason Murphy last night, and we said that same thing to each other. Iron sharpens iron. So all those guys are awesome. Didic, the center, is probably one of the smartest guys on the football field at all times. Him and Jonah, and Caleb is that's C. Will. So he makes getting sacks a lot harder than it would be in a game, no matter who. Because you can say, okay, well, it's other guys that's dual threat, but it's not a lot of guys who are Caleb Williams. Not a lot of guys who are, he won Heisman for a reason. And
absolutely.
Just pressing against him, I'm letting you know he most likely gonna win it the second time in a row.
Oh man, I believe it, man. I believe it. And you look at the firepower that's around him. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. What you see right now, man, it's look, man, I know USC, I know you guys are loaded, man. I know what could take place, man. And I've always told everybody this, provided that everybody stays healthy, man, because now it looks like the depth, even the guys that's behind you, man, it looks like the depth is solid right now. I'm really feeling the defense right now. I'm really feeling what's taking place, man. And Tim Prangley, hey, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate it. So where are you exactly from? You're from Georgia, or is it from closer to Tennessee?
No, I'm from Huntsville, Alabama.
You're from Huntsville, Alabama. Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Huntsville, Alabama, which it is close to the Tennessee line, but I just went to Georgia State, which is in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. So how you want a roll tide? Were you a roll tide fan growing up?
My uncle Kenneth Darby played for Alabama.
Darby, I remember that. Wait, Darby, did he play like kick returner or
that too? But he played running back.
Yeah, I remember Darby. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
So,
Did he wear number 4 or something like that?
34. He wore 34.
34.
You think about Pro.
Who?
Proto.
Okay. Yeah.
Real good kick and punt returner. But yeah, I wouldn't say I was I mean, my family was Bama fans because of that, but I was always the type I wanted to play against Bama, which is wild because USC we're going to make the playoffs. We make the playoffs. Bama or
hey,
Georgia.
say that again. Hey, I've been saying this. I've been telling everybody. I need you to say that one more time.
Oh, we're gonna make the playoffs for sure.
Absolutely, we're going to make the playoffs. Look, you hearing it from him. You hearing it from him. You hearing it from me.
Absolutely, our goal is to do bigger things than that. But that's obviously number one. Obviously to win the conference. But yeah, I mean, I want to play against those guys, Bama, Georgia. The guys they say that can't be beat. Because like you said, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, so to speak. So
absolutely, and I think that'll be the perfect way to send you out, man. You play Bama or Georgia, man. You're very familiar with those schools, man. Even Tennessee, they might. I don't know. They may end up making it. I don't know. But yeah, man. Brenton says mature. You got a mature mindset, man. Very, very mature mindset, man. And that was one of the things that came to me, man. Was like, this guy's all about business, because you really, like you said, really didn't have any real knowledge about the West Coast, Los Angeles, really, man. As far as you never been there before, right?
No, sir, I haven't.
Yeah, and so you was able to make that commitment, man. This is what I call a executive decision, man, a business decision, man. It came and so that brings me to a question, man. In the next 5 years, where does Jamil Muhammad see himself?
1, great son. 2, awesome football player. But 3, most importantly, just a great man. Obviously in the NFL, doing my thing, healthy, but being in the community, changing lives. And then I have a couple of plans up my sleeve that I won't talk about right now, but that will later impact multiple families, not just from my hometown, but in whatever hometown I'm playing in the NFL. But for sure, a professional football player for sure.
Absolutely. I think you will be, man. Coach Riley has built a wonderful. Hey, man, absolutely, man. The culture speak. Can you speak to the culture real quick? What is the culture like as far as because it looks like you guys. This is Larry. It looks like you guys have a brotherhood, man, and like a bond right now, man. And it came quick. It happened last year like that as well.
Yeah. Like I said, Coach Riley, man, he's you can't get no better than Coach Riley. And that's one thing I seen that. When I sat down with him on my visit, he was waiting on me to get ready to go to New York to go to the Heisman Trophy presentation the next. But he sat and waited on me, and it's one thing he told me, and it'll always stick with me. He said, if you want to know what it feels like to do something, just talk to somebody that has done it. He talked about how he made the move from Oklahoma to California, and it may be a little different because he's a head coach and. He's getting all this money, and it may look like it's easy on the outside, but he had to leave his family. He had to leave the South. He had to leave what was normal to him, and come all the way out here. He had to get uncomfortable, and look at the success he's had just in 1 year. Although, like he'll tell you, it's definitely a long way to go. But I see so much success down the road in that decision that I made.
Absolutely.
And I think the coaching staff is just. Like we are a reflection of the coaching staff. Leadership, everything rises and falls on leadership, and with them, we rise a lot. If you look at the game yesterday, like how that game ended is how every day in practice, pretty much ends. It's always competitive, and that comes from Coach Riley. He's a fiery guy, so I like that.
Man, yeah, and I think this move you just did it a year early. It's really prepping you for the NFL because you don't know what team you'll play for. You may be back in California, you may be anywhere, and so it's really kind of a prep type situation. And I think it was a good decision, man. We're glad to have you. I'm gonna read these off, and we don't want to keep you too long. Kamasi, this is my man Kamasi. Muhammad is a superstar. Praise God. We met yesterday. I think Kamasi was on the field. I think you met him. He might have had all black on. Did you remember meeting him?
Yes, I do remember meeting him. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And that's my partner right there. USA Hockey, appreciate big time, big bro Jamil. Appreciate you. And Tim says, which O-line or running back are the best blockers or give you the most trouble? That's kind of getting into my next question, but you can answer that because my question is going to be, what's the best defensive player and what's the best offensive player that other than Jamil Muhammad that you've seen? But you can answer this one first.
To answer that first question, which O-line or running back the best blockers will give you the most trouble? Best blockers, as far as O-line, will probably be, it's got to be Jared Kingston for sure.
Washington State transfer.
Yeah, why the guy has to be him. No knock on the tackles, but man, that man Jared, boy, he's something else. Like, you know, when we do stunts and stuff, like it's just, you know, his head and eye, like it's just it's quick, and he get them hands on you. It's almost like, you know.
It's funny that you say that because when I did a video about him when he transferred, he had a play when he played against Corey, and man.
Yeah, I know exactly what play you're talking about. Yeah, I know exactly what play you're talking about. We seen that,
man.
I seen that on film. Yeah. When I seen I seen that before spring practice started, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna make sure I keep my head on the super with him. But yeah, running back.
Corey ran like super fast going to him, but then it's all of a sudden Keeson just.
Yeah, he just laid them hands on him. But I think as far as running backs, let's see, running back. I think best blocking running back probably. I mean, all of them really are tit for tat. I mean, it's like I don't think none of them really, you know, just outdoes the other one. I mean, all of them do great. Like Austin, Barlow, Marshawn for sure.
Yeah,
all of them do great as far as blocking. Even Colombo. So yeah, I think that would definitely be the answer. And then, can you state your question again?
My question was on offense and defense, and we'll try to wrap it up. Offense and defense. What's the most explosive? Well, who has impressed you the most from the offensive side of the ball, and then who has impressed you on the defensive side of the ball since you've been in camp so far?
Right, offensive side of the ball. Oh man, that's hard. Offensive side of the ball, I'm gonna go with. Mario Williams. Like he is. I mean, I know he has solidified himself in multiple categories. But he's one of those guys who, I mean, he's just on another level when it comes to his energy at practice, his heart. I think that's the biggest thing that stands out with him. You know, he's not the biggest receiver, but I mean, it's not like it hurts him because he has a tremendous amount of heart, and that's something I respect about him. And I hope he hears this. I've never told him this, but he has a tremendous amount of heart. I mean, he's just one of many guys. Marshawn. You know, he's very elusive and explosive. The move he had yesterday in the game was ridiculous. I just seen
that was crazy, man. You seen it? Did you see it when you were on the field, or did you see it?
I seen it when I was on the field, but you know how that is. Like, you know, it's different seeing it on the camera or, you know, being in the stands. I think it was maybe on it was somebody's video. It was a highlight from the spring game, and it was the end zone shot in front of him. And I was like,
oh man,
yeah, that was a move. But defense. Defense. I would have to touch on the freshman Christian Pierce. He didn't practice. Yeah, he didn't practice a lot, but it was a couple things I seen from him that he did that you know that I literally was like, wow.
Before yesterday,
but before yesterday, that pick was just added to the pile. Like he had another play in practice where I think it was like his first day back from something because he had like shoulder problems, I guess. He came in the hole, and as a freshman, you know, you don't expect a freshman to go in the hole with a running back that's built like Darwin Barlow.
Oh man, yeah.
And he didn't smack Barlow over, but it was just the fact that he had the heart to go in there and stand him up, and they just stood each other up. So, but going back to offense, I missed one. Zach Branch. Yeah, he's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be an issue. I'm telling you. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Man, that's what's up, man. I'm gonna answer some of these questions, and man, yeah, I think that's what Coach Riley was talking about with Christian Pierce. He just talked about him and Barlow going at it, man, and just, man, I mean, you know, what I seen from him yesterday, man, it's really, he just looked different out there, man. He definitely looked different. Tim says, great point on Caleb. Dude is hard to catch. Yeah, absolutely, man. CLN.TV says Natty. Hey, that's what I say. Natty, straight up, Natty. DT818, Jamil, welcome to the Trojan family. What's your thoughts on Bo Nix? He's from your way. He's from Alabama. Did you play against him in high school?
I didn't. I played against him when I was at Georgia State, though. So I'm glad I get to get a little redo.
Okay. So you real familiar with him. And then did you play against Marshawn last year?
I did. I did. I always say it again.
Did you tackle Marshawn Lloyd last year?
Oh, me and Marshawn was going at it last year. Me and him was going at it.
So he remember you then?
Yeah, me and Marshawn, yeah, he remembered me, but it was crazy when we got here. I DM'd him, when he first, because he committed after me, so I DM'd him, but it didn't quite click with him until we got in the locker room. We was talking about something. He was like, "Oh, you was number 9 from," and I was like, "Yeah, I was boy from Georgia State." So, we still talk about that game to this day, and he definitely. I think somebody asked me who was the best player I played against last year, and it was by far him. So, got to give it to him. But him and Drake May. But yeah, for sure.
Oh, North Carolina. You guys did play against North Carolina, huh?
Yes, sir, we did.
Yeah. Drake May supposed to be doing this thing this year too, man, according to all the major outlets, man. So look, man, hey, USC Priority says playoff bound. Absolutely, man. It's big things. We're gonna any questions for Jamil, we're gonna get out of here, man. We definitely appreciate him taking out the time, man. Really appreciate it. Just played the spring game yesterday. He took out the time. He was gracious enough to take out the time. Let's see, Bart. We all need to build this channel up. Hey, amen. Hey, let the church say amen, bro. Amen. Amen. USCJ, hey, appreciate you, man. Hey, so look, any questions for Jared? Yeah, he did. He was big time at Washington State, man. Johnny Five. Fight on, man. Digital asset. Shout out from Georgia, Jamil. Oh, he's in Georgia. Okay, shout out to you, man. Hey, appreciate it. USA Hockey. Who's his favorite line? Who's your favorite line? That's a great question. Who is your favorite linebacker?
I don't know if they're talking about past or present. If they're talking about present, it's definitely Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
Excuse me. If it's past, it's Ray Lewis. Present right now is Von Miller out there now.
Yeah, Von Miller's a beast, man. My buddy played for the Baltimore Ravens, man, in the back in the day. Had an opportunity to hang out with Ray and Ed Reed, man. Them guys, he's a workaholic, man. Went to the gym, worked out with him. He's a workaholic. Yeah. But hey, so we getting out of here, man. Hey, look, man, we appreciate everybody for tapping in. Jamil, did you have anything you wanted to leave us with, man, before we tap out of here, man? We definitely appreciate you coming on, man.
No, that's just what I was going to say. I appreciate you allowing me to come on and just, talk with everybody. And that's really it for me. It's going to be an exciting season. Fight on.
Absolutely. Tell your moms and pops, man, hello for me, man. And we definitely appreciate it. Jamil, hold on for 1 second as I get up out of here. Let me close this thing out. Hey, until later on, man, listen, everybody stay blessed. And look, don't forget that Georgia defensive tackle, man, it's a possibility we may be getting him. So we'll talk about that. You'll see me with a video. But until later on, look, everybody stay blessed, man. We appreciate everybody for tapping in.